Yo, what's going on, guys? Koi here. Today we're going to be talking about a brand new update for Anime Saga. Now, the thing is about this update, there have been many changes that have been made, and the way that the updates actually work is that we'll get small patches every single time. It won't be one massive update, at least not until we get our first content update, I'm guessing. But as of this moment, all these patches are incredibly small, quality of life fixes, and one of them being the fact that they're upping the EXP in every single area. Second, they're also nerfed all the requirements for getting a evolution unit, which is crazy. The other thing that I have to say last probably is the fact that you can now hold M1s, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, they also fixed Bloodlord. That trait was broken at a time, but it's cool. Okay, so before we hop in game and really talk about that, I just want to talk about like the requirements now. So if we look at the building requirements for the weapons, they kind of stayed the same ish. Just depends on which character you're looking at and stuff. But if you go to the characters you have and you click on them, you see Sid only requires the one sword this time, no longer requiring food, no longer requiring an extra mythical item. It's just straight up the one thing. Now, the most expensive one is Oko Run, which makes no sense. I get they're trying to make a joke, big balls, like he's got two balls, cool. But realistically speaking, he's pretty trash. I don't even think he deserves to like have that many freaking. I mean, he's great for clearing story. That's it. But if we're talking about like output damage, like there's other characters that do it a lot better. And even at that, he can't even clear something like Dragon Ball Saga because obviously you need an air unit like Furin from that, or Gohan or Vegeta. Besides that, though, everything's pretty chill. All right, let's go and talk about the game now. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is pretty much like the head situation. They've already replaced a bunch of the heads and stuff like that, so almost everybody has their heads right now, except for characters like Gohan, obviously, who just don't have a head. Besides that, now we can actually just hold the M1s, which is great. I get so tired of clicking that I barely use the M1s anymore because of it. But honestly, now that I could just like, hold down click, I think I'm going to be using the M1s quite a bit now. Besides that, we're going to talk about the gameplay in just a moment. I want to talk about the different characters the different stages and how much EXP they got now. And the way that they kind of work now is Leaf Village went from like 35 to 50 EXP. Freaking Marine Saga, or like One Piece Marine Ford War area, that one got buffed from like 65 to 100. And we finally have the modifier too for if we're going to be talking about how much does this benefit us, really. So, for instance, doing Nightmare gives you like a 80% increase in that EXP. So if you're doing like Marines, you're not going to get 80. You're going to get you're not going to get like 100. You're going to get 180 on Nightmare mode. So that's a W. It is a lot better. I still think that there are some problems with the game. Obviously, I think a lot of us are still asking for the ability to make sure that units are easier to upgrade. Because let's be real, there's actually no reason why unit EXP should be so low. That should be the first thing you should be able to knock out, get to max level quickly. That should be an incentive. There's no reason at all for unit EXP to be so low whenever it comes down to food. Player level, I get it. You want to like make them wait for the resources or make them buy resources. But whenever it comes down to the fact that, there's like so much stuff you have to do that stuff requires us to have max level units, which is pretty huge. You know what I mean? So if we don't have max level units, then what's the deal? What's the point? Because we're not going to be able to compete in that high-end content. We're not going to be incentivized to buy everything in the game and stuff like that. I think that their communication's still a bit sparse. We're still waiting on more and more info on who the heck we're actually supposed to talk to in regards to the game and stuff like that. Because obviously there's owners of the game, but they don't really do much in reality. They just kind of like do their own thing. They showed up for like some of the update, and then after that, they were kind of done after that. So I mean, we haven't seen anything just yet. So we'll just have to wait until what happens next. The way that they've been rolling out the updates has been pretty interesting, honestly, because now the way that they have been rolling them out makes them they come out in patches, like very small patches, so they're like super digestible patches that we get, and then after that we're done. So I mean that's kind of a W. Um, Besides that, though, I think that the game is kind of a little more rewarding right now. I think the only problem with it literally just has to do with the fact that a lot of the content is still either missing or it's too hard for like a lot of newer players. So hopefully they can start upping that unit feed, like the unit food, because I think that player level it's still a little low. You know what I mean? But for Nightmare and stuff like that, maybe the modifier should be higher. Maybe except for 80%, it should just be 100%. Or even better, 150% modifier. And it's like, but Koi, you don't want them to level up fast. They're going to get to end game. They're done. The whole point is to get to the end game. The whole point is to get to the last units, max them out and stuff like that. There's no reason we should be struggling with something that is a fundamental in the game that is not designed behind a paywall. Now, if there was like a paywall for, player level and then unit level, then sure, but there's not a single one. I'll show you guys the shop right now. There's like, they want to sell trait rerolls, they want to sell spells, they want to sell super spells, they want to sell luck potions, they want you to get lucky. The potions are terrible, by the way, because come on, 5% on a what is 5% of 0.1? What the heck is that? But besides that, like VIP, 20% off summons. None of this has to do with EXP. So if none of this has to do with EXP, then why is EXP the biggest problem that this game has? And I think that if we up the unit food entirely, just up that unit food by like 4 times 4, let us get max level units much faster than there is now. We won't get bored. We'll max out the unit, we'll be done with it, and we'll move on. Like after that, people are going to want to invest in everything else to make their character better. Especially like not trying to pop an Evo too early. They're going to focus on content. You know what I mean? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell down below. It really helps out the channel. But if you guys, make your voices known, make your voices heard. If you guys want to say anything down in the comments, I know you guys love to do that, where we kind of converse and talk about some of the changes in the games and stuff like that, and move on from there. But besides that, I think I'm done. Take it easy, dudes. Peace out.